did you like the movie? So how did you like it? Yeah, obviously they like the movie. So let me ask you the first question, and then I will open it also for all people here to ask you questions. So my first question is, Zoya, how are you doing it that you bring in your film something which is not just a film, so that you go happy after seeing your film, so out of the cinema. So there's always something bigger than life in your films. So how are you doing that? So what is your secret about that?
I don't know. I mean, I come from a tradition of Indian films where it's all about happy endings anyway. Most of the films are, it has to work out at the end of the day. My first film, Luck by Chance, a lot of people didn't see as a happy ending because the couple didn't get together. Though for me that was a happier ending for the girl, but it didn't work out that way. With this film, it was a coming of age, even though the boys are in their 30s, early 30s. It just needed to end in a way that was uplifting, whether you thought it was happy or not was irrelevant. It had to be uplifting, and it had to get the people to be who they are and what they believe in. And that's it.
Yeah, but there's always, I have the feeling there's always something that you have in your films that making the films bigger than life, like it's not just like the action we see, it's not like just the heroes. By the way, how did you shoot the scenes in the end with the bull race? So how was it done? So was there the real bull race? Or,
yes.
Obviously there was a real bull race, but with the actors?
Yeah, no. We shot the encierro, the real encierro in Pamplona. But what we did was we shot all the wide shots in the real bull race. And then the state of Pamplona, Navarra, they gave us the action locations to recreate with the actors. So we took the action locations. We had 12 bulls that were not as crazy and hectic as the real bulls. And we had professional runners, and we had the background, and we had stunt men, and we had, it was the only time in my life where I was on set, and I was the smallest person on set, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? Why don't I just have children? Why am I not at home? What am I doing? The only time I had this moment with these 5 Spanish action directors and 6 cameras and 100 runners and 500 extras, and it was mayhem. But it was very well organized, I have to say, and my actors were very brave, and they actually ran. They ran with the bulls. They were protected by the runners, but they did it. Which was an insurance nightmare. But
how was your experience in total with Spain or with Europe? Because I have seen your making of, and in your making of you're telling us that somehow you don't like the West with all the regulations and rules and so on.
yeah, I absolutely love Europe. I mean, it's ruined my travel because I just end up spending all my money in Europe. I haven't seemed to be going anywhere else since the last few years. But Spain it was amazing to shoot in, and at the same time we're from India, which is the wild, wild east. So we just do what we want, and we couldn't. So if we are on the road and we are driving and we've locked the road up, it's a highway, the whole highway is for us, we've locked it up. But you can't turn the car when you cut the shot. You have to drive for 20 minutes because that's the law, and we're like, but there's nobody on the road except us. Sorry ma'am, you cannot turn the car. That's the law. So we could spend half an hour just driving. I need to talk so that we could come back and take the shot. That it would never fly in India. In India, you just be like, I'm turning the car. So yeah, stuff like that was a bit tough, but it was amazing. It was amazing to shoot there.
Yeah, next time we should invite you to Germany because we have autobahn here, we have highways. They are just for the shooting. They are just.
My brother shot Dawn in Germany with Shah Rukh Khan. That was shot in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, forgot that was your production company.
Yes.
So is there already any question from the audience? If not, I will go on. If there is, I will let you have the first. So far, okay, I will go on. So tell me, Zoya, a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks or so, you have been at Cannes Film Festival.
Yes.
So you have presented your film, Bombay Talkies. They're just telling that they want to see the film.
Yes. I want to see the film there as well. I'm waiting on the producer to get back. She's on holiday. So now after Cannes, it will have a world release. So I'm just trying to figure out when and where and how. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but tell us, how was your experience in Cannes? Was it the first time you?
Yes, it was my first time in Cannes. And I mean, I was like, if I go to that festival, I'll go with the film. Otherwise, what's the point? It was absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's crazy how they've managed to take a film festival and package it the way they have and organize it the way they have. It was pretty awesome to watch that. It was also a first time for me. I was there for 4 days and I was just doing press all day and partying all night. So I didn't watch any film. And there was no time actually to see any movies because we were doing interviews for Bombay Talkies all day. We had an amazing screening at the Palais. It was 100 years of Indian cinema being celebrated at Cannes, so there was a lot of Indian presence in Cannes this year. And it was amazing. They had a beautiful dinner for us. It was just gorgeous. It rained 2 days. That was a bit sucky, but otherwise it was amazing.
Yeah, my guess was that that was the Indian monsoon you brought to 100 years of Indian cinema to Cannes.
No, the Indian monsoon has just hit. I think we brought it back with us from Cannes. It's just hit from monsoon.
It was a joke anyway. Yeah, let's get back to the film because seeing that film, I was really excited about all that parts of Spain you have covered in the film. For example, the Tomatino Festival and the diving scenes. But that was all shot in, for example, the diving scene. Was it shot in the real sea, or did you go to a big aquarium or something? Or?
No, real sea. We shot all the stuff that's outside the water and just above the water in Spain. But we shot the underwater sequence in the Red Sea in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. Because the fish is better, the visibility is better, and it's not as cold, you know. There's much more visibility in the water than in the Mediterranean. So we did go to Sharm el-Sheikh for just the interior, but all the stuff, when they come out of the water, everything is Spain.
Okay, I was wondering about that because I was thinking, hey, I didn't know about diving in Spain. So Spain is famous for their beaches and things like that, but...
I mean, they do have diving, but it's not as famous as Sharm. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, okay, here's the first question. So please come up front. So please say your name.
My name is Kathleen, and talking about talking about Spain. Why did you pick Spain? Do you have a special relationship with it, or is it that Indians like Spain as a travel?
No, actually, Spain was not such a big destination for Indians, actually, which I have to say has changed since the film. I went to Spain 6 years ago on a girls' trip with some of my girlfriends, and I fell in love with Barcelona. I mean, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous country. The people are really warm. They are very friendly. The food is good. You can travel there. The sun is shining. You know, everyone's friendly. Even if they can't speak English, you can't speak full Spanish, they communicate with you. And it's stunning. It's just beautiful. When I started writing the script, actually, I wanted to base it in Mexico because I just wanted to go to Mexico. And so that's where it started. But you know, when I was working with my co-writer, we started writing the track of the sports came in, the adventure sports. And then we realized that the climax needed to be something more primal and something more wild than just a very controlled sport. And Running of the Bulls came up, and then the film just shifted to Spain because of Running of the Bulls.
Yeah, that was a good decision because that was, I don't know, I can't remember that was shown in a film, or at least shown in a film like you showed it, because it was also, may I ask for the production cost of the film? It's a huge show because
Yeah, it was like about 65 crores, I think, in Indian rupees. I don't know what that would be in euros, but about say $10 million, $11 million.
Yeah, but it's great. So what you did with that, it's just great to see. Okay, any other question? Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, congratulations to this beautiful movie. I'm very
Thank you.
impressed by it.
Thank you.
One question. Did it happen very often that your plan in your mind were completely different when you see now the results? Did you improvise a lot, or was it just, did you work by your script?
No, I go by my script a lot. Very few things, like I don't change my script too much. Also because I hold workshops before I start the film, so if I want to change something, that comes up before I get onto the film. But having said that, you know, your plans change, things change on a schedule because you're shooting an outdoor film. There are so many variables.
Yeah.
You can't control the weather. So things invariably keep changing and keep tossing it about. But I generally shoot my script.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's asking from the perspective of an actor or an actress. So that's why. So another question? No. So what else? Tomatino. How do you think about Tomatino in comparison
I knew
to
about the festival.
Sorry?
I knew about the festival. I've seen the festival. I've seen images of the festival. And when I was working on it, actually my brother Farhan, who's acting in the film and is also the producer, he was like, "You're going to use Tomatina?" And I was like, "Oh my God, of course." Because when I moved the film to Spain, I hadn't thought of it. And he was like, because it's so visually amazing. And it's very similar to a festival we have in India called Holi, where we play with colors. So we are very used to having a whole day festival where you play with the material. We don't play with tomatoes, we play with color. And it was just amazing because it's a very visual, it's gorgeous to look at. So if you have to shoot a song, it makes perfect sense to place it there. And also it's very easy for Indians to understand festivals and, you know, going out there, playing something, getting dirty, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that it's also very important in India with the Holi festival, not only throwing the color, also to work with water also, not only for washing, but also for making it more dirty.
Yeah.
Because you know, I don't know if you're aware of that, but there is a big trend in Germany since last year. There were 3 guys here from Berlin who organized a big party, a big techno party, which is called Holi Festival of Color. You will see it on Facebook, so you can have a look on Facebook to that. And they started it last year with 3,000 people at a location, open air, and 10 hours of music, and every full hour they were throwing the colors, you know, like the same colors like it's from Holi. And they have also some Indian beats and some Indian music in that techno sound in that. And actually this year they made it the second time. It was just 1 week before Cannes, so in the beginning of May. They had the second run, and it was 12,000 people. And the tickets for that 12,000 open air techno concert, Holi Festival of Color, was sold in 10 hours. So I think seeing that is very popular, not only in Berlin. Last year they had it in 3 cities, and this year they had it in 10 cities. So
wow!
I don't know how it will go on, but I hope that we also can manage to get that attraction, because you know, still Indian films are watched more like Shah Rukh Khan movies, like melodramas. That might be the reason Don 2 didn't do that very well in Germany, you know, because it wasn't a typical melo Shah Rukh Khan film. Yeah? But films like this film, your film, Zindagi, or other films like we have shown at the IndoGerman Filmdinner, like Baby Belly or Shatan, or next movie will be most probably Kahani. There are films that are unknown in Germany, Besides the Zindagi, which has Ricola Blittig and the star cast, had a release by Rabbit Eye. The other films, they have no release, you know. So hopefully the Indian movement or the happiness around Indian films or the new wave of Indian cinema will raise and will grow, and so that we can bring all those films of the new wave of Indian cinema also to Germany.
Fantastic. I hope so.
I think also Lunchbox will be a big point for that, you know. Because Lunchbox,
it got picked up at so many classical pictures.
Yeah, actually in Germany it's picked by NFP. This is a smaller distribution company, but they do a lot of very good releases for art house films, for smaller releases. And actually there was a big bit or betting, how do you say, betten, big bet about who got the film from all the distribution companies from Germany, because a film like Lunchbox, which is it's not a big film, but it's a nice, also feel-good movie, and so they were looking for films like that. And so after having that big hello income and the big reception, got the distributor and will be distributed in end of this year or beginning of next year.
That's fantastic.
So I hope, and that is hopeful, I think it's also the hope of all the people here, they are already fans. That is what we are working on, that we try to make that fan group bigger, like the Holy Festival of Color is doing very well with that. So it's not 12,000, it's around a little more than 50. But, so there's some work to do still. But we're working on that. So any more questions? Yeah, there's a question from you. But you know, our fan base is growing, only it's growing slowly, but it's growing. Okay.
Hello Zoya.
Hi.
My name is Atul, and I would like to ask you 2 questions. First
Yes.
question is, what was the most difficult part according to you in the film? And the second question will be, would you like to say something about your new project you're working on, and is it coming to Europe or to Berlin?
Yeah. Most difficult part while shooting this film, I think the most difficult part while shooting this film would have to be dealing with the changing schedule, because we were outside so much, and our schedule just went for a toss because it would start raining when we needed the sun, and the sun would come out when we needed it to be darker, and it was just a nightmare. So I think that was very difficult because we just had to keep changing, and everything was live locations, and then we had to keep readjusting and keep shooting. So that was a nightmare to deal with. My next project, I'm just about finishing my script. I plan to shoot it early next year. It's a dysfunctional family, and it's set on a cruise ship. And I'll possibly be shooting the boat off Europe somewhere. I don't know yet where. So by September we'll have an idea.
Okay, probably Berlin is waiting for you.
I'm dying to come to Berlin because I've never been to Berlin. I've been to Frankfurt, I've never been to Berlin. It's my brother's favorite city. And he's very... Yeah.
Okay, that's great. We will welcome you with a really warm heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, so then when you will start shooting next year, what does it mean and end? So when are you ready to film? When do you think will be the distribution starts?
Yeah, it depends when you start shooting. Like say if I start shooting April, it'll take me at least 8 months, you know, to get the film ready. So, I mean, depends on when is the best time to release it and stuff. It might be end next year or early the year after, 2015.
So, but then Berlinale would be great. Berlinale would be...
Oh, I'd love to be there. Yeah, I would love to. Absolutely.
Or if they don't want you because our IndoGerman Film Week is just a week before Berlinale, then we take you for sure.
Thank you.
Any more questions from the audience? Okay, so something else. No, really, but that would be great. You have been to Cannes, now you have to come to Berlin.
I'd love to come to Berlin. Love to.
Hello, I'm Louis.
Hi.
I was wondering how you decided to use the Oldsmobile? Like, was it your decision to like actually use an old timer, or why did you put them in an old timer in the middle of the movie? Was there a conscious decision?
Oh, the car?
The car. The car.
Because you know, the car is a character for me in the film, because they are actually, it's like a location within a location. The car is so much in the movie that I want it to be aesthetic, visually beautiful. Also, I needed it to have space because it's going to have 3 actors, the cameraman, the camera, and me. So you know, you don't know, but I'm under one of the actors' legs at any given time. So yeah, you can't see me, but I'm underneath the seat. My sound person is in the boot, in the dicky. So we needed a car that would accommodate us, and we needed a car that would look beautiful. The new cars just don't cut it. You know, they just don't have the same romance.
That's true. Also, the trunk of the Oldsmobile, like of the old timer, is usually bigger than the newer ones. So.
Yes. Yes.
But it's a really good car. I was very interested. But why not the red one? Why the blue one? Is it because it would have looked weird with the new front of the car?
No, because I feel like, you know, when you see the movie, and the palette of the movie is really the scenery, the scenic thing, and I just felt like I wanted one of the colors that goes with the nature.
Yeah.
You know, I want something that stuck out, and red would have just, you know, would have just popped. Whereas a sky blue kind of goes with the sky, and it just blends into the atmosphere and the scenery, and it doesn't, it belongs there, you know?
Yeah.
It's not an eyesore. It
Yeah.
felt like it was gentler on the eye.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a really great car, so... Is it true that women are more like the color of the car, meanwhile men are more like the type of the car? Yes. Okay, forget it.
You know, I have no idea.
Any more questions? No. So is there something you want to say? Or you want to ask about Berlin or whatever?
I mean, I'm actually really, I'm really excited to be doing this chat. I think it's fantastic to, you know, meet a bunch of people that have gotten together on a Saturday evening and watched my film in another country, and a year and a half, 2 years later. I mean, it's fantastic to be interacting with people that have just watched your film, that are culturally quite distant from where you come from. So I really thank you for doing this. You know, and thank you for inviting me, and thank you for screening my film. It's lovely to be here. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you can do me one favor, tell it your fellow directors and filmmakers, because we will go on also with our initiative, showing and screening each month one film more or less from the new wave of Indian cinema.
Of course.
And
if you need me to get in touch with anyone, let me know.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, there's that big wish, so that would be the biggest wish you can do for, I think, all the people here, because they are all so desperate, and also having also, along with the director, having some stars for a premiere. So for one of the next venues like Berlinale or IndoGerman Film Week, it would be great to have one Hrithik Roshan or whoever. Bring your brother, please.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You get my film, I'll bring it.
Okay.
Road trip with the friends in Berlin. Road trip for the friends in Berlin. Late shooting.
Okay, I think we, more or less we said everything. Anything else? No. So Zoya, thank you very much for taking your time.
Thank you very much.
For hanging out, you know, in the middle of the night. And taking that for us. So thanks a lot. And
thank you everyone.
Hope to see you soon. And good luck for your next film.
Yeah.